In your notes, there's a little line here that says dot equals is used to compare objects. This is a critical thing. It's going to be the source of a lot of errors in the future if I don't drill this point home now. This is really, really important and kind of a hard thing to understand in C++. I just made a little program here. I'll just tack on to the end of this where I'm leaving off. That divides a concept I was just talking about. I now would like to talk about dot equals. When you declare a string, and I say my string, and I'll set it equal to, quote, cat, and I declare another string, and I'll call it your string, and I'll set it equal to, quote, cat, you better be careful. A lot of times if you're doing relations and you want to do an if statement, if you say if my string equals your string, you just might get surprised by the result. Of course, it needs to be a double equals if you're making a comparison with an if statement. And then I will say something like system.out.println, and I'll just put what we just said there in quotes. I got to warn you, I have no idea what I'm about to see. I really don't know what the output will be. I don't know whether I will see that or not. That is how unreliable it is to use equals equals when it comes to using objects. And my string is an object, okay? Now the primitive variables we've used before, integers, doubles, floats, all of those things, they are not objects, but this thing is. If you make a comparison of an object, never use the double equals sign. You're not allowed to in the Java language. You won't know what you'll see next. And I honestly don't know if we're going to see those two things are equal. We got lucky. It came out okay. But I think there was about a 50-50 chance it might not have worked. Don't ever do it. Nope. The way you need to do this is wrong. I can't emphasize the point enough. If you want to make a comparison of two objects, there's only one way to do it. Write myString dot equals parentheses and put your next string in the parentheses like this. For instance, in the future, if we make a class and it is circle C1 and we have another circle which is C2, you'd have another pair of objects. You would have to use the dot equals with them too. Always, when comparing two objects, use dot equals. Equals equals is solely reserved for primitive variables, and those would include things like only for ints, doubles, floats, that's about it, characters, and some variations of those, and there are some variations of those. Let's go ahead and see if this works, and let me say dot equals this quantity. Let's go ahead and run it. This is wrong. This is, you're right. This is right. And it's a bad thing to show people things that are wrong, especially when it seems to work, but it's working for the wrong reason. Okay. The output is unpredictable. Don't do it. Always, if comparing one object to another, always use dot equals. This concludes this tutorial.